Hi, Dirty Girl here, aka Karen Leabo, and I am here to give you a sales report for the vintage items that I have sold on Etsy, and I guess I don't have any eBays to show you this time, in the month of December. Yes, that was a month ago, but hey, I'm committed to not getting more than a month behind on my sales videos. So here you have it. I think I'm also going to have some clips of Muffin for you Muffin fans, because I know she hasn't appeared in a while. So that will either be as an intermission or I'll put it at the end. And so I'm just going to get started. The first thing I want to show you is these 1980s kind of Tootsie glasses, these great big oversized frames with thick Coke bottle lenses. And these are Silhouette is the brand, and I paid $5 for those and sold them for $28. Oh, and I should say, I'm going to show you, these are not all my sales. These are just some of the more profitable, more interesting things you might want to keep on the lookout for. And also, the price that I'm giving you is the total price that was paid by the customer, not including shipping. I always do calculated shipping, well, almost always, and I try to make the shipping be, have them pay about what it actually costs me, so it evens out. Sometimes I'm a little off one way or the other. Okay, so next I have these gorgeous German Majolica plates with the birds on them. Just the color was so beautiful on these. And these came from my sister-in-law, so I paid nothing for those. And I sold them for $120. So I was very, very pleased about that. Shipping was considerable on those, too. And next up is this King Edward VIII coronation souvenir cup and saucer made in England. British royal commemorative pieces are always in demand, and this one is kind of interesting because, as you probably know, King Edward VIII was not king for very long. And oh, I actually was given this by my mother-in-law, but she bought it at a rummage sale for $1, and so I sold it for $28. Oh, and these were fun. These are some Mexican wooden, hand-painted, articulated angels. I guess they were kind of like ornaments or something. They're obviously old, and they were just so charming. Let's see if I can show you some better pictures. That's not a very good picture, is it? Pictures are a little bit bleached out looking. But they were angel mermaids. Oh, yay, I had a sale. They were really distressed and just so charming. And I bought 3 of them for $10, and I sold, one of them had a broken tail, so I did not sell that one. I just kept it because she was cute. And these other 2 sold for $49. And this is a cast iron doorstop of a cat, obviously. It is a Victorian style, but these were made in the 1970s. I didn't know that when I bought it. I was hoping it would be older, but a little research told me it wasn't. I did pay $18 for him. So cute. But I sold him for $52, so not too bad. And boy, he was heavy to ship, too. And here's some more vintage glasses. These are made in France. Anything made in France seems to do well for me. Women's oversized sunglasses. They had kind of a lavender to white frame. They were really pretty, in good condition. I don't know that they had a brand name. There they are on my model head. But anyway, I paid $5 for those. I think I got them at the same time as the others and sold them for $32. And this is just a gorgeous art glass paperweight with the blue swirl in the middle. Was not signed or anything, but it was just so pretty. I couldn't pass it up. And I paid $12 for that and sold it for $29. Not as much as some paperweights sell for that are signed, or the, really pretty Venetian Murano glass. Those will sell for more, but I just thought that one was gorgeous. Let's see, we have some antique Colmont Paris binoculars, military style from the 1800s. These were just in terrible condition. All the leather was falling off. I glued the leather back on, and I did disclose that in the description. And there's a metal piece that's missing here, but there, for a display piece, the lenses still work and everything. But I just thought they were really cool looking. I have really good luck with binoculars, and these, let's see, I paid $15 for them and sold them for $45. And this is another flapper necklace. I've sold a lot of these glass beads with tassels, or the little seed bead long necklaces. This one was really long. Let's see if I can show you. It had some beautifully worked metal included with the glass beads. See up here? Anyway, let's see. I got that from my friend who gave me a bunch of stuff from her garage. So I paid nothing for that and sold it for $35. And this is a Moriage Satsuma tobacco jar or biscuit jar from Japan. This was obviously very old, and it just had beautiful, beautiful work on it. You have to kind of be careful with stuff from Japan, because later things from Japan just don't sell very well. At least they don't for me. But this was pre-Nippon, which means it was from the 1800s. It wasn't marked at all, I don't think. And just beautiful work on it. Let's see if I can show you some other pictures. Look at that. Look at those flowers. I just love this. I paid up on this. I paid no, I didn't pay that much for it. I paid $15 for it. Sold it for $95. Yay! And this is another long necklace. It's not a flapper necklace, though. It's more of a mid-century piece. Gold tone mesh metal lariat. This was just a glass stone. Just the workmanship on it was super, super nice, and I paid $10 for that. I tried to get it for less, but I really wanted it, so I bought it, and I sold it for $32. And this is a sterling silver and multi-stone cross pendant. It was probably Native American made, but I don't know for sure. It was, onyx, carnelian, quartz, and jade. And I paid $20 for that, and I sold it for $78. I did have to sit on it for a while, but it eventually sold for my asking price, which made me happy. And another flapper necklace. This one is a seed bead with the fringe. Let's see if I can show you what the rest of it looked like. There's where it looks like worn, really nice and long, green and white. And that I paid $25 for that. That may have been a little much, but I sold it for $62, so came out okay. I don't mind spending money if I can make money, but I do, there's a fine line between sinking too much of your liquid cash into stuff and then having to sit on it. So I have to be careful about that tendency I have to sink all my money into stuff. Let's see. This is it's an Asian, probably Tibetan, I'm thinking Nepalese, maybe from India, not sure. I see a lot of these around. This was a really pretty one. It had nice metalwork, had a nice malachite cabochon. This is not silver. It may be like a low-grade silver alloy. I paid $15 for that and sold it for $48. And this is a nice little, very little, convex or bullseye mirror, kind of a federal style. I'm not sure exactly how old it is, but I think it's kind of old. I was guessing Edwardian just based on the style of it and the way it was worked and everything. Let's see if I can show you. what the back looked like. There's the back, so you can tell it definitely has some age on it. That I paid $5 for, I think. Yes, I paid $5 for it and sold it for $28. You can see it's pretty small. It's like 6 inches tall. And this is a little sterling silver and copper ring. The gemstones are fake. I was hoping when I bought it that they might be real, but they're not. So I just thought it had a nice look to it, that pinwheel setting. And I paid $10 for that, which was too much. Well, I don't know, maybe not, because it had sterling silver, but I sold it for $29. Oh, I had another sale. Awesome. What a nice morning. Oh, and this, I've had this for a while, but I was determined to get my asking price on this because it was wonderful. Modernist sterling silver bracelet and ring combination with garnets. I just thought it was really exquisite. I paid quite a bit for that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I paid $40 for this set. 40. But I did sell it for $125, so that's not too shabby. And this is a 10-carat Victorian gold cross pendant necklace made by Semco. Not something I'm that familiar with. I'm sure I did some research on it to figure out how old it was. Early 20th century, actually. Maybe not truly Victorian, but close to it. Victorian style, anyway. And, oh, that was came from my friend also, so I paid nothing for that, and I sold it for $55. And this is definitely a bolo, because it's Trifari, and a lot of people turn their nose up at Trifari, you know, oh, it's just mid-century costume jewelry, big deal. But these peas in a pod pieces are very sought by collectors. They're silver tone metal and glass pearls, 1960s, and I believe these came from my sister-in-law. Yes, they did. So I paid nothing for this, but I sold it for $175. Yes. So that's a definite bolo. And this is a sterling silver modernist brooch. Don't believe it's signed. Think it's a mid-century piece. I don't know what I paid for that. I've had it for a really long time, and I wasn't able to reconstruct it. And I sold it for $32. Hello, Muffin. Hello. She doesn't like it sometimes when I close this gate and she can't get down to see me, but that's because she's a naughty girl. Okay, and we're back with the remainder of my interesting December sales. This is a really cool Navajo ring. It is signed by Jesse Claw, which is a pretty collectible maker. It's sterling silver, turquoise, and coral, probably. And let's see if I can find a picture of the mark. There it is. JC. It's from the 1970s, and I got that from my sister-in-law, so I paid nothing for that, and that sold for $64. And this is a Williams-Sonoma, France copper mixing bowl. It's the kind of bowl that professional chefs really like for whisking egg whites. I've sold a number of these nice copper chef's bowls. This one, I will admit, I paid too much for. I paid $30 for it. And I sold it for $58, so I did make a profit, and it sold fairly quickly, so I guess that's okay. Got that at the flea market. I haven't been telling you where I got these things, but things that I bought, most of them came from flea markets. And this is a celluloid flower necklace. I did get this at the flea market a long time ago. It was all tangled up in a bunch of other jewelry, and I had to sit there and untangle it before I could buy it. I paid $3. Did I say that? And although it did sit for a while, it sold for $42. So that's not too bad. And this is a lorgnette, which is a handheld glasses that, you know, the ladies would hold up to their, I guess men did too, hold up to their face and then put it down. They're pretty collectible. I've sold a couple of these before. This one is brass, I think. Gold-plated, sorry. Probably gold-plated brass. Had a little mechanism for folding and locking, which didn't work. But probably somebody clever could have fixed it. It looked like all the parts were there. It just needed something bent a little bit, and I didn't want to risk doing it myself. Anyway, I paid $6 for that and sold it for $42. This is a Mexican silver and chip inlay turquoise. That's what you call this kind. That's it's kind of like they take the chips from carvings and then they put them in some kind of adhesive or matrix and then paste it down, I guess. Anyway, it's called chip inlay, but this is an older piece. Well, no, I'm sorry, it's not. It's from the 1970s. From Tosco. It's an Aztec man, I guess, and has an eagle mark, which means it has to be 1970s or earlier. I'm not sure where I came up with that date, 1970s. I'm sure it had a good reason. Anyway, where'd he go? I paid $5 for him and sold him for, I just was looking at it and I lost it, $28. Oh, look who's here. Did you come to be on the TV? This is a Art Deco black onyx and marcasite and sterling silver brooch. And I paid $10 for that and sold it for $34. And the funny thing is, I have another one exactly identical to it. I bought them years apart and at different places, so I thought that was kind of weird. But I have another one of those for sale. Oh, this, I just love this. I paid $7 for this. It's huge. Let's see if I can show you some more pictures of it. It's Japanese mother of pearl and on lacquered wood. It's a wall plaque. These are often sold in multiples, like, you know, a set of 4. I just saw the one on this, but this was a really special one. The colors were unbelievable. The size of the mother of pearl was incredible. The only downside, and the reason that I bought it for only $7, was there was a big, right there, there was a big loss right there. So yeah, you can see kind of where it's a little blacker right there. But I bought it anyway because I just loved it, and it was only $7, and I sold it for $38, and that one was a lot of fun to ship. It took me all morning to figure out how to package it. And this I got at a garage sale. I bought 2 of these. They're faux bronze teapots with these images behind glass that are meant to look hand-painted, but they're not. But they're, I don't know where these came from. They're 20th century, but they're kind of old. And I bought 2 of them at a garage sale for $3 or $4 a piece, I think. We'll say $4. And sold them both for around $35. I mean, each. $35 each. So that's okay. This is a Joan Rivers brooch. The Joan Rivers jewelry, it's really beautiful and it sells really well for me. Well, I guess I've had only a couple of pieces of it. But anyway, since this was so pretty, I paid $10 for this, and I sold it for $37. This is a hand-painted, domed wooden trunk, like a little baby trunk. And this thought that was really pretty. Paid $9 for that at the flea market, and I sold it for $34. And this is a sterling silver equestrian brooch. Not signed. I think it may have had a sterling mark on it, but it didn't have a maker's mark. But I always buy nice figural jewelry when I find it. It seems to sell really well. And this is, I guess I have here, it's from the 1970s. I don't know how I came to that conclusion, because I don't remember what I did on the research. But paid $10 for that and sold it for $32. And this was a good buy. This was Bank self-registering coin bank. You would put the money in, and it would count the money for you as you put it in. They made a lot of these as advertising pieces. This is for a bank. There's the old box that it came in. It had the key also, which is important. And, hold on. Hold on. Come here. Oh, come here. There she is. There she is. There's my good girl. Oh, there's a pretty girl. Okay. Yes, she's such a star. Anyway, I paid $3 for this at the flea market and sold it for $38. And my final item is this solid copper door knocker / peephole. They also call these speakeasy doors, because you remember from the old movies, what's the password? And they would have the illegal bars during Prohibition and stuff like that. Obviously, this is, well, not obviously, this is probably not that old. I have it from the 1950s, and I paid $10 for that and sold it for $48. It would have sold a little more, but it had like kind of a weird, clear, protective finish on it that I think detracted a little from the finish. But somebody could probably remove that if they wanted. And anyway, kind of cool. Anything like brass or copper door knockers, any kind of hardware like that, vintage door hardware, has done really well for me. So that is it. And if you would like to take a peek at my shop to see what's currently for sale, it is vintagedazzle.etsy.com. I have all the links down below where you can find me on various social media like Facebook and Instagram, and on Etsy and on eBay. And oh, she's still here. Oh, she's such a soft little girl. It was kind of cold last night in our room because we had the window open, and she snuggled up against me all night long. Okay, that's probably enough of that. I will see you again soon. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And what else? What else can I tell you? Oh, I try to answer and or acknowledge all comments. I may miss one every once in a while. And if you would like to get hold of me, the best way is through email. I have an email address down below. I know some people have tried to send me private messages through YouTube or Messenger on Facebook, and I'm not real good about responding to those because I don't really know how. And I haven't bothered to learn. So email is the best. Okay, so we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.